Love and blessings to everyone listening. I wanted to share something that I've been sitting with for a few days now, actually, and it's about the question, what do you do? When you go to a party or you go to an event where you haven't met anyone before, and you meet someone for the first time, and you eventually get to the point when someone says, what do you do? And it's been interesting for me because for so long I was so used to saying I'm a recruiter. For those who've been listening to my work for a while, you know that I was in recruitment for a long time, and I built up a lot of corporate experience in that space, and then I stepped into my role as a coach and I began to own that. And so the script for a long time for me was, I work at Sky, I'm a recruiter. And then I found myself struggling to find a label to give my new identity. And I didn't like it because it kind of boxed me into another pigeonhole, I guess, saying I'm a coach or I'm a life coach, or there's so many words you can use to describe yourself. But what was interesting is that it was time for me to reintroduce myself to myself, because I'd gone through a period of growth and my old identity was no longer who I was. And so it took time for me to slow down and reevaluate, who am I now in my life? We carry all of these stories around who we were, or who we think we are, and we allow that to continue through our life when we're no longer the same person. And so there's not this level of integrity or congruency anymore, and you start to come out of alignment with your life, and it creeps up on you because we live in such a fast-paced world. It's easy to never slow down. It's easy to not do that because there's so many distractions that can take you away from being present, from slowing down, from taking the time to reflect. So I guess my question to you is, who are you now? Who are you today? What stories are you telling yourself about who you are in the world right now? Is that who you've always been? Or is it time to shift because who you are and who you're becoming is someone else entirely? One of the things that also came up in a conversation I had recently was when I said to the lady, I'm a coach, her immediate response was, have you got any training and, like certification, etc. And what that got me thinking about was how the world and ourselves only feel validated if there's some kind of credentials behind or in front of your name. And what am I trying to say? Behind or in front? Does that make sense? At the beginning or at the end? That's what I mean. And it almost feels like validation that you've had some kind of validation, I guess is the best word, that you've had approval to do what you're doing. And the more I sat with this, the more I realized, with the coaching that I do, with the podcast I do, with the book that I've written, none of those things were things I studied for in the typical sense of the word, right? Like, did you to have, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, wrinkling my nose. No, it's gone. And you feel a lack of confidence and a lack of drive to move forward, almost because you don't feel like you deserve to be in that position that you see yourself being in, or to do the artwork that you want to do, or to express yourself the way you want to, or to earn the money that you want to, whatever it might be that you want to do in the world, that you feel called to do, but you feel that there's not enough experience there, or you haven't got the credentials, or you don't have some type of approval, basically. And what I want to just highlight is, the more I sat with this, the more I realized it's in my spirit. The approval comes from my spirit. This is a part of my gift to the world and to myself. And my purpose in all of this, being alive, is to express what's coming through me, to express my gifts as they arise. The only approval and the only credential you need is from your spirit, is from your soul. And if it feels like it's genuinely coming from a deep place, an authentic place, whatever it is that's trying to come through you, you feel connected to that work, then you have every right to share it. You have a responsibility to share it, in fact, with the world. You're depriving the world of your gift, of the thing that only you can do the way you do it. There might be a million different people with the same job title, a million different people doing similar artwork, but who's going to do it with your energy, with your passion, with your level of inspiration and motivation, with your level of enthusiasm, with your level of love, with your level of creativity? No one can match that. So the only approval you need is already inside you. It's in your soul. If you feel called to do something, you don't need to wait for a certificate. You don't need to wait for someone to say, yes, go and do it. You don't need to wait to have some kind of education or training. Your training has already been done. That's why you feel called to do it, because you're ready. And the more you do it, the more confidence you'll have, and you'll begin to remember that this is what you were meant to do. The more you'll realize this is what you were meant to do in this lifetime. Now, as the conversation went on with this lady I was speaking to recently, she said to me, does that take up most of your time right now, the coaching? And I said, right now, yes. Between coaching, doing a podcast, and writing, it does. But that's just where life's brought me right now. That doesn't mean that's where I'm always going to be. And what I mean by that is my gift may continue to evolve. My gifts, more than one, gifts, right? We all have more than one gift. It doesn't have to be one thing that you're amazing at, that you feel called to do, that you feel inspired to do. You may feel called or inspired to do many things, and that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means that you're expansive, that you have so much to give the world, and you shouldn't be pigeonholed into one area. You have so much to share. Your soul wants to come alive through the work that you do. And you're going to be the one to give it birth. You're going to be the one to bring it into the world and to allow other people to enjoy it. And that will be part of your legacy. You live your legacy. You don't leave it, you live it every day in the way that you express yourself, in the way that you create your artwork, in the way that you work on yourself, in the way that you interact with other people, the way that you love yourself. The way you create your life is your legacy. That's art. Your life is art. Your life is legacy. And the more you can connect with your soul, with your spirit, the more authentic your life will be, the more connected you will feel, the more in alignment you will feel, the more integrity and respect and love you will feel for yourself. Because now you're living in a way that only you can live. You're doing work that only you can do. And so I'm allowing life to take me in different directions. Right now, this is where it's taken me. This is where I find myself, but I'm open, I'm fluid to being wherever I need to be. Now I'll finish with this. Every morning I've started doing a new practice, which I have just, I guess, intuitively come to doing, and it feels amazing to do it. And it's simple, it's so simple. And it only takes a few minutes to do it. And for those of you who know me, I love journaling, and so I journal without any thoughts around what I'm going to journal about. I just let it come through. But more recently, I think this is a very simplified way to start your day and to focus your spirit in the right space. What I've been doing is just writing words that represent the energy that I want to tap into, that I want to focus on, that I want to attract, that I want to bring into my life. And so I just write a whole list of words, and I'll read you some of them now. I have my journal here, so I'll read you some of them. Let me just grab this. Colorful, expansive, joyful, awe, presence, grace, gratitude, appreciation, passion, purpose, enthusiasm, magic, surrender, spiritual, depth, adventure, play, fun, creativity, artistry, travel, abundance, relationships, money, sensuality, laughter, smiling, laughing, freedom, service, depth, healing, connection, feeling, rising, well-being, money, friendship, choices, variety, peace, harmony, equanimity. Those are the words to set your soul in the right direction. You know, imagine yourself at the beginning of a port, you know, where boats are, where ships are. I think that's where boats and ships are. That's the right word to use, port. You know, you're at the beginning and you're about to set sail for the day. You're about to set off for the day on an adventure. Which direction do you want to go in? You know, the intention that you set at the beginning of the day will take you in a particular direction, will positively or negatively impact your day. You are creators, you are powerful. God is inside of you. You are a part of God. You are a part of this beautiful creation that we call life. You get to choose what direction you want to go in. The more momentum you build, the further you go down that road. And so every day, those words help me set an intention for where I want my heart to be, where I want my soul to be, where I want my mind to be. So I'll leave you with that in this episode. Sending love and blessings, and thank you for listening.